Galgalo. She is a program coordinator at, of course, Heinrich Boll. And we're speaking matters FGM, what's being done to address it. I said, like, even earlier, I remember a KDF officer who was killed, I think, earlier this week by an angry mob in Samburu for attempting to rescue some girls who were to undergo FGM, right? And he was trying to take them to Chesoi police station. No, actually, it was in Marakwet, not Samburu, sorry. And clearly, it's a danger sometimes when you try to come into these communities and the status quo. And I'll ask perhaps Daki how we can navigate things like this and what the government is doing to fight FGM as a whole. I know there's a lot, but it's also very dangerous work, clearly.
Yes, it is, and it's so unfortunate that the KDF soldier was killed. This is he's among the very courageous people to speak up and to try to save and prevent FGM from happening to those girls. Unfortunately, it is embedded, like some of these cultural practices and traditions are really embedded in our culture and tradition, that if you try to speak against it or just try and stop it for something something that violates really human rights of everyone, and especially the girls, we even kill you, just because we don't want to stop it. I think what is needed is really awareness and advocacy of why it shouldn't continue happening. It has happened, yes, I know, over a very long time, but what it have? If anything, we're just seeing the impact it has on women, and especially on their health, And I'm not talking about the mental health and psychological.
Their physical health.
Physical.
What the Kenyan government has been, doing quite a lot. So has civil society. Could you shed light on some of the things that are happening behind the scenes to fight FGM?
Yes. As we're lucky in Kenya, unlike maybe our neighbors, that we have a structured government response to FGM. We have, for example, the Act of Parliament, the Prohibition of Female Genital Mutilation Act that we have in Kenya. I think this was published in 2011. And we have an anti-FGM board, actually, which is now implementing this act. Really doing a lot of good work in advising awareness, in advising the government, and coming up with programs that are trying to at least advocate and raise awareness to communities on why we should stop FGM. And apart from that, of course, we have so many other organizations, non-governmental organizations, international NGOs, civil society organizations, and survivors. We should not forget survivors. Survivors are really coming up and speaking up about it, how they've suffered, with this vice, and why they don't want to see other young girls going through it, And this is definitely not enough. We should do more. We've seen a lot of good work that is put in Kenya. The numbers are going down. If you look at the statistics that I already mentioned before, we're having 15%. And looking at 2030, which is the zero tolerance for FGM, I think if we put in more efforts, which is really needed, we will definitely get there.
And that's just 7 years from now, which I think we are doing well so far.
Yes.
Right now, I'd like to know what's the role of men and young boys in the fight against FGM, because I know of a young guy in Samburu, I know of one also in Kajiado who have really tried that, but that also means risking being excommunicated because the community has really embraced that. Talk to us about how, as a young man or as a boy, I can join into the FGM.
Yes, so kudos to the young man that, but this is really an effort that needs partnership with everyone. It's not just women trying to fight this. We need men, we need young boys. These girls are your sisters, your cousins, your mothers that are going through this. So we need the efforts of everyone to stop this. And I think if you want to stop anything in a country or in a society, we can't leave it to like 50% of the community to be taking that up, and they can just do the much they can do, right? And if the others are just sitting there and watching, we won't get to that zero tolerance we want to see. So we really need the support from everyone, from the men. And like the way our societies is and where this FGM is practiced, right, mainly in the rural areas, you will see it's the men who have like the powers, right? They are the elders, they have the say. So whatever they say is being listened to, unlike a woman or a young girl talking. So if they just say this is illegal, first of all, in Kenya, it's harmful, let's stop this kind of culture, I think they will be listened to more than a woman. So we need them to speak up. We need them to be courageous enough to support the young girls out there who have still not undergone the cut, not
True.
to do, for it not to happen to them.
We'll continue